Hello and welcome to the 2018 Memorial Championship. Today we are in Scottsdale, Arizona at Vista del Camino Park with lead card action from JomezPro, BigSexy commentary, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
And we have a star-studded lineup. Nikko Locastro, who's playing really good golf lately. Johne McCray, the ageless wonder. KJ, all the way from Denmark, and obviously the world's #1 ranked player, Wysocki.
Hole 1 is a par 3, mandatory between and underneath the flag, so you've got to go straight at it. It's pretty slidey grass out here. It is the Arizona desert, so you're going to see a lot of low backhand mid-ranges from this group, I think, and just looking for a pretty long slide on the ground.
And the wind was kind of swirly between headwind and tailwind in this hole. It's hard to say exactly what the lead group was dealing with here. But like you said, Johne McCray is a master at the low ceiling shot. Florida has a ton of those, and it's something he's always been really good at. And this is something that
Nikko gets past the tree.
Wow. I thought for sure he was going to hit that initial branch leaning out on the right side, but gets past it, and he's going to have a pretty tricky putt there.
And KJ, a bit of an early release, but he might not pay for it.
Wow.
That's really threading the needle.
Yeah, that is very fortunate. And this hillside play is really nice if you can throw a forehand.
Wow.
And Ricky does manage to avoid the trees there. And
very nicely done, just inside that tree and the hillside controlling it, just as Germ said. Oh, Nikko catches some cabbage on the putt.
It's really tricky. KJ from a similar spot, but his putt allows him to throw a little bit more of that nose up than Nikko. Nikko's relies heavily on the up to down motion, and KJ kind of spin throws his putt, so.
Has his European tradition.
Yeah. And a nice tap in there for John. I'm just going to say nice putt. That's outside tap in.
No, it
range.
was no tap in, yeah. I wouldn't even call this a tap in.
Oh, it's a Ricky tap in.
And tap he does.
And this is our introduction to the Chainstar Pro, the new updated Discraft basket.
I'll give it a positive review.
Yeah, I will too. I think that they've done a great job. There's 3 sets of inner chains, and it seems to catch really well. I didn't see anything strange from my card yesterday.
And a nice looking basket, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Hole 2, par 3, 369 feet. Really nothing in the way except these 2 trees at the end. You see a lot of people play a low backhand trying to skip over to it. You just have to make sure you miss the trees and the roots. The other play is a forehand flex.
And this hole is about 100 feet further, but is actually playing as the 15th easiest hole, whereas the first hole was the 14th easiest hole. So this one's just a little bit easier to par.
Just nothing in the way is, I think, the difference. You don't have the Mando and the low ceiling and all that stuff. This one, you're all but guaranteed to be inside 50 feet.
I mean, when you come from Vegas and you come to Phoenix right afterwards, you're not used to throwing 250-foot shots. You're used to this distance. So maybe we're a little bit all more warmed up for this kind of shot.
You could be right about that.
Also didn't hurt for the scoring average that a guy in my group, Jeff Faze, got a hole-in-one.
Yeah, that is great. Congratulations to Jeff. And that was a very errant shot from Rick there. Inside with Heiser. I think he did find a way to get outside 50 feet.
Yep. And it's kind of surprising in a way that he doesn't throw the forehand. I know that he's so much more backhand predominant these days, but the forehand plays into that hillside, and it's so tricky to trust throwing at that fence.
Yeah.
And just a little mistake takes you OB. So with Ricky's forehand abilities, I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see that.
Yeah, nice shot from Nikko. See if Ricky can dial one up. Not quite. I mean, we may be a little biased, but I also think that forehand play takes all the trees out of play, too. I really feel if you have it, I think it's a superior choice.
Right. Oh, Johnny, just off to the left side chains. That needs to stop doing that.
The slowest roll.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. Not that much of a hillside.
KJ just off the left side.
Man.
So this hole's playing a little tougher for this group.
Yeah, on a hole that was playing, quite low under par. Or we're going to see.
Wow. Oh, and another roll. Come on.
No way.
Brutal.
That's just not fair. Neither one of those putts deserved a roll.
Yeah, my group sitting in 65th place, we took a star frame here, and I'm assuming with Jeff's ace, you guys probably scored pretty well on the hole also.
Yeah, I think we had an ace and
A couple of
two birdies
yeah.
and maybe a par, so 4 under total.
Yeah. Nikko, for the honor of the lead card, nails a birdie, as he should.
Man, and that was a good putt for bogey there for Johnny. It's a tough break there.
Really, that was pretty incredible to take those 2 rolls back to back. Hole 3, par 3, 360 feet, very similar distance to the previous hole, and it's really a pretty similar line, except you need to go a little bit higher to clear the sewer drain thing here. Again, the forehand is also an option at 360. Most players can reach this with the hyzer of their choice.
And this is the 17th easiest hole, so we have the 14th, 15th, and 17th handicap to start off this round. So, I mean, when you start at Vista del Camino, you have to start off guns a-blazing.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a five holes here at the beginning where you'd like to get really 3 to 4 twos.
Right, and nice shot there from Nikko. And KJ has this a little bit too high. That's going to fade out a little bit more than he'd like, I'm sure, but he's still right around the circle's edge, so he'll have a putt for birdie. And there's the Ricky forehand playing into that hillside. Not going to get as much skip as the other guys.
Oh, nice little reaction there.
And that's going to leave him right around circle's edge as well. Surprising to see Ricky leave that one that short. Oh, gosh, both guys hit that tree there.
Huh.
Johnny and Ricky. I don't think I've seen many people ever hit that tree.
KJ just laser beams it home. Beautiful putt.
Such a unique putting style, and he's just developed it over the years, and it works for him. Not many other players I've ever seen really putt like that.
You gotta love KJ. I mean, awesome attitude. A guy that you don't see in the U.S. all that often, but every time he comes here, he's ready to play. Like the guy just comes in, you figure, oh, maybe he's been busy.
Right.
Maybe it's been winter in Denmark. He's going to be rusty.
Right.
No, never.
And nice putts from Ricky and Johnny. And he's always in the top 10 in the world. I mean, it's so impressive that you could do that. And, you know, we have the advantage over here in America with, you know, we get to stay sharp edge with competition.
Yeah, totally.
And, you know, I mean, he's playing in Europe, but he's just not necessarily playing against the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like we have the opportunity to in America. Nice star frame there from our lead card.
Yeah, really good hole. Hole 4 is probably the hardest of the opening 5. 381 feet and quite a bit more out of bounds. The drone is not going to show us quite the lay of it, but you can see the flags. As we go to the live footage, we'll see the Disc Golf Pro Tour wall that defines the out of bounds.
And that wall kind of helps out if you have a low shot so you won't skip over. But if you lay it out out of bounds, it's going to prevent you from skipping back in bounds.
Yeah,
so.
he just, I don't know if the wall stopped him or what. That was just like the absolute worst hop one wall and not enough energy on the second.
That was a terrible break for Nikko there.
KJ going a little sharper, a little higher.
Yeah,
but it catches the tree.
And I don't think that he was going to head out of bounds, but...
He was going to be way short, though.
Yeah, he wasn't really in birdie range either way.
And Ricky, see if he can make the correction.
And that needs to get down as well.
Oh, good.
That was a really nice overstable, well, maybe not overstable, but at least a sharp edge disc, so that way when it hits the ground here at Vista, it just decides to knife in.
And Johnny as well, knifing right there. Quick shout out to a new sponsor of Germany's, Grip 6 Belts. Awesome to see them getting into disc golf.
Yeah, and also Jomez Productions as well, so... These guys are stepping up big time and sponsoring the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Oh, we got a 38-footer.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Great save there for Nikko.
That was perfect.
It doesn't allow the bad break to diminish his spirits, and solid putt there.
That putt didn't wobble at all. I love when you see a SloMez putt and it's just so clean like that.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny.
Oh,
whoa.
Gosh,
I thought that looked center, but must have been a little bit right. Ricky for the birdie. Let's have a quick word from our sponsors. Hole 5, par 3, 340 feet to the elevated basket. The pine tree on the right is a mandatory left, so you're not allowed the large backhand hyzer play. You can either go straight at the pin or take a forehand hyzer up high.
It's really the only hole that, unless you're a lefty or you're going to throw a forehand here, it's the only hole in this beginning stretch that you can't throw a hyzer on.
Well, hole 1.
Yeah, I take that back immediately because that's not true.
It's in the last 4 holes.
It just seems like that. I mean, just in
I hear you.
In Phoenix, it's the hyzer festival, and you know that you have to have your hyzer game down if you want to.
And for years there was no Mando here, so a lot of us remember playing this as a hyzer hole.
That's right.
Look at Nikko.
Working on a couple things this offseason, man. He's really impressed me with his forehand abilities.
Up the middle with the forehand. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't even do that one.
I went high. And KJ, wow, it's turning late. That looked perfect out of his hand. Must be a very understable disc.
And that's gonna be a very tricky putt. Not only is the basket elevated, but he's got that tree to deal with. Not sure if it's gonna be in his way. We'll see when he gets up to his lie.
These tees are a little bit older out at Vista. If you have noticed, Johnny often electing to play from the side. There is a little bit of a area there that the tournament directors have given us with a painted area that just shows you that you can use a little bit of that dirt. Wow, KJ with a really nice run. Oh, man.
Wow.
Right over the top.
That might be a tricky comeback putt for Johnny.
Yeah, that tree can be pretty nasty.
Yep.
And Nikko is really looking clean on the putt right now.
Yeah, it's a different version of him so far that I've seen. I mean, he's playing very well, obviously. He's been a lead card, Las Vegas, and the Memorial so far. Did very well in Thailand. One putting mishap was the only thing that stopped him from winning both putts in Thailand. So he's really come rejuvenated for 2018.
Nice.
Nice par save there. And good putt for Ricky for the birdie. Let's see if Johnny can clean up his par.
Doesn't look to be in his way too bad. Nicely done.
He has such an interesting follow-through on those short putts. He really makes sure that he follows through all the way up.
Yeah.
As to not leave any putt short.
Yeah. Hole 6, our first par 4 and one of our toughest par 4s out here at Vista. There's OB on both sides. It is not short in any way at 783 feet. It is very difficult to get a drive long enough where this upshot looks easy.
Yeah, there's OB left side and right side. Roller play is great if you can control your roller within the confines of this fairway. As we're going to see Ricky go roller here. And nice starting angle.
Pretty good. It's going to maybe go towards the out of bounds, but then it just needs to stop before it...
Oh, that's going way too far left, but I think he's going to curl back in bounds.
But it isn't really that huge of distance.
No, he didn't keep the disc. He didn't throw a stable enough disc to roll straight for long enough to give him that distance he was really looking for.
And Nikko going for a roller as well.
Another premier roller thrower, and that's the angle that I think Ricky was looking more for.
Oh no, but look at this.
Jeez, Mel, I'm calling these a little bit too early here.
Oh no, that one is out.
Wow.
That just turned so hard.
Very strange flight there. It looked at first like he had hit the ground at a perfect roller angle, but just maybe the wind turned it a bit, or it's hard to really tell what happened there. But
Definitely.
Nikko's going to be throwing 3 from at least 350 feet from the pin.
And KJ flexing one out. Really a big shot. That's about as good as the air shot can be done.
Yeah, a lot of players would go for that big Anheuser air shot, but KJ's so good at threading the needle with drivers that he goes for the straight shot down the right side gap.
Johnny needs this to flex, and it is. I believe that is safe. Really nicely done.
Yeah, this is the second hardest hole in the course, coming in at a third of a stroke over par, so you can see there's just difficulty from tee to green.
Great shot. Puts himself right at the edge of circle 1. Pretty fantastic on one of the hardest holes. Nikko, after the OB, goes with a Annie, and
oh no, that's got to get some legs.
And that's OB immediately. Like, he may only move up 10 meters.
Yeah, maybe. That is a really uncharacteristic mistake. Nico's so great with that overstable anhyzer shot, and just leaves that out way too wide, not enough angle.
Oh, Ricky blocked by the one tree. He'll have a long putt left.
Yeah, that's a mid-range putt for Ricky.
Yeah, he's one. If there's one guy you want to step up to that range of putt, he's probably number one draft choice.
And that's a bit short there from KJ, but playing for par in this hole, I don't think that's exactly what he was going for, but it's nothing wrong with that.
So this is Nikko throwing his 5th. He really needs this to get close.
And another great forehand. He's well within his range. It would be a good 6.
It would. KJ just right. See if Ricky can. Ooh, 42.
Oh, just a little bit too low.
Just when you YouTube guys thought that when we put the graphic up, it meant it was automatic make. Looks like you'll have to think of a new comment.
Oh, and Johnny, last chance for the lead card to get a birdie on hole 6, showing exactly why it is the second hardest hole in the course.
Man, tough double bogey for Nikko, but way to collect himself and execute that saving shot. Going to be pars for the rest of our group, most likely. As Johnny steps up to this tap out, let's take one more quick ad break.
And Johnny's sizing up the basket. What do I have to do for it to stay in?
After the long walk, our players find themselves at hole 7, par 4, 645 feet, much more attackable than hole 6. You're going to see these guys go with a screaming backhand low, trying to just get a bunch of skips and then set themselves up for the approach to this elevated basket.
The only thing that's really scary off this tee is that there is a light pole right there, and if you are throwing the hyzer, it shouldn't be in the way. But to get maximum distance, sometimes you like to force the ante and try to get way up the fairway. In that case, that pole would kind of be a little bit more in the way. But
yeah,
looks like KJ is going to throw from the dirt here.
This is a little bit more left, perhaps, than he would like. If it goes up the hill, there's most likely a turnover from there.
Yeah, and you can actually go backhand, right, turnover over the road. That row of trees makes it difficult to throw another backhand from there, but he's still fine. I mean, as long as you get 350 to 400 feet up the fairway,
yep,
you should be able to find a way to get somewhere near the green.
Nikko unleashing after that frustrating 6th hole. He's not going to let that happen again.
Oh, and that's scary.
No, I thought that was so good.
Wow, and Nikko has made the mistake of turning it over too much. That's the scary play about throwing that anhyzer, is that you bring that sidewalk and water into play on the right side.
That drive was going to be huge if it flexed back. I honestly have not really seen anyone hit that tree before, so that tells you how big that shot was.
And a good recovery shot there. He's going to have to settle for a par at best.
Here's that turnover up and over the road. Oh, no. He went actually hyzer a little bit more than I thought.
And Johnny, one of the best. That's his, I believe that's his shield that he throws so well. Yeah, not quite close enough to the road to have to go over the road.
True.
There.
They're going on that anhyzer side, but they really didn't have to go out over the out of bounds. And Ricky making it look pretty easy. Perfect drive.
And besides the basket being elevated, there's really nothing that makes this green difficult really in any way. Nice putt there from Johnny.
Sweet.
And that shows exactly why it's the third easiest hole in the course, averaging 3.62. So plenty of birdies, not that many bogeys. Only 10% of the field took a bogey or worse, but 52% of the field was birdieing the hole.
Yeah. Nice birdie from KJ. Ricky will do the same. Hole 8, over the water. You go up and play from an elevated tee, and you're basically, it's an island hole. You're going downhill to this grass. If you're in this ditch, your OB, there actually is a little bit of safe land right of the ditch if you really want to play a safe play. But all these guys are going to be going straight at it over the water, trying to get on the green.
And Ricky's been going putter on this hole for a couple of years now, and that is just a very strange early release. Gets away with it by just clearing the land by mere feet.
He almost went out of bounds over the path.
Wow, that's he's fortunate to get away with that in bounds. KJ is going to show him a little bit better version of how that shot is thrown.
Yeah, perfectly done there.
That's kind of what I would imagine as textbook KJ.
Yeah, for sure. Control on those rocks.
And I think this is Johnny's shield as well. That's got to...
Oh, no. And that, I'm going to say that probably never crossed.
That is his beloved disc, and I really hope that he got that disc back.
Nikko with the huge hyzer. Wow, that was cool.
Very nice recovery after going out of bounds 3 times in the last 2 holes. Nikko opts to go for the super wide hyzer, and let's check out that FollowFlight as it just barely clears those trees. And an ace run there. Great shot.
Crowd loves it. Johnny has to re-tee here. And this is a little bit left. This is not going to be what he's looking for.
No, he's looking at 4 if he makes a miraculous putt. Let's see if Ricky can give us some highlights here.
Oh, wow. Man.
Johnny for bogey.
Just off the top. KJ for a birdie. Ooh, just skips it up and over.
Good birdie to get. You know, you can see right there how difficult the hole can play as Johnny is going to be tapping in for his 5. And Nikko with a much needed birdie.
Great birdie there. Tough hole for Johnny. A couple nice birdies though for Nikko and KJ. Hole 9 is a par 3, extremely difficult par 3. The only saving thing here is that the water line is as low as I've ever seen it. Generally the water is all the way up to the grass. Now we've got a little bit more room to play with. The way to attack this hole if you want a 2 is a giant anhyzer up over the trees.
And KJ with the traditional spike hyzer play, just playing for position. Remember the 2-meter rule is in effect, so you kind of bring these trees into play, and you're kind of playing Plinko at that point, because there's not necessarily a clear landing zone. You just kind of hope that it falls.
Oh, Nico's trying to show us something special here. Clear it.
Oh, and he's over, and he is up there near circle's edge. That is a bomb.
That is a great shot.
482 feet. That was a beautiful shot. And it looks like Ricky's going for the low line, which is a really strange play. I've never seen anyone do that, but wow.
That was cool. Right next to Nikko.
Making minis with Nikko's disc
I haven't seen that before. A low turnover.
And it just really begs for that shot with the bank being so much further left than anyone's ever seen it. I'm sure in the memorial play at least.
Oh, Johnny catches a tree. This upshot can be difficult. It's very low ceiling. This is going pretty fast.
Oh, sit down.
Any other year, that'd be out of bounds, but I think he's going to be safe thanks to all those rocks.
That's right.
And wow, these guys are really getting aggressive thanks to knowing there's rocks down there, apparently.
Yeah, and Johnny has stayed safe as well. And Ricky, surprisingly, with the... I want to say eagle putt, but it's not. It's actually just a birdie
putt, but it's a big-time birdie. Wow, everybody just crushing past the basket.
Wow.
Great save.
And this is clearly the hardest hole in the course, averaging 3.41, almost a half stroke over par. It's really like bordering the line. Is this really a par 3? It's reachable, so yes.
Yeah.
But most players play it for a par 4 in that they play the layup shot. There were only 6 birdies on the day. Zach Hallbeck, Paul Macbeth, Bobby Music, Kevin Jones, Chris Clemens, and a commentator that goes by the name of Jeremy Koling.
And if you thought it might have been me, I've never gone for this hole, and I don't think I ever will.
It takes some guts to go for it. It's a very scary hole to attack.
There it is, front 9. We've got Ricky at 24, KJ at 25. Johnny and Nikko run into a little bit of trouble with the bogey monster and bringing up the rear on the card.
Yeah, colorful front 9 there. A lot of different scores, some OBs to speak of. It's be interesting to see how they attack the very attackable back 9 as we finish up the second round from the 2018 Memorial Championship.